Hello students, welcome to Math Freaks. Today we are going to discuss about Chinese remainder theorem. Okay, so let's begin without wasting much time. So first of all, why to use Chinese remainder theorem and how to use Chinese remainder theorem? So two questions, right? Now Chinese remainder theorem is used to solve a system of congruencies. Okay, like in this case this is an example of system of congruencies. Okay, but not for every system of congruencies you can use Chinese remainder theorem. Now why? You can use Chinese remainder theorem for only those system of equations where the divisors are co-prime to each other, like in this case 5 and 7 are co-prime to each other. So in this case we can use Chinese remainder theorem. Am I clear? So we can use CRT for only those system of congruencies where the divisors are co-prime to each other. Perfect. Okay, now we know that when to use Chinese remainder theorem. So we will use Chinese remainder theorem when there is a system of congruencies and the divisors are co-prime to each other. Now we know when to use. Now how to use? Okay, now Chinese remainder theorem is not a very new concept, or not a very unique concept. This is a very simple concept, simple to understand. Have a look at the system of congruencies here. X is congruent to 1 modulo 5. Okay, so what does that mean? So when x is so this means that when x is divided by 5, the remainder is 1, right? So can we write this as an equation? X is equals to 5x plus 1, right? We can. Okay, how? By division algorithm that you have studied in earlier classes. Okay, similarly for x is congruent to 4 mod 7, we can write this as x is equals to 7, say y plus 4, and from this equations we have to write, or we have to specify that x and y belongs to integer, obviously, right? Okay, so if you know how to solve Diophantine equation, because these two are a Diophantine equation, then you will be able to get the solution. Okay, sorry, not x, let me just clear that. Say 5p and this is y. Okay, so this 2 is an example of Diophantine equation. So if you know how to solve a Diophantine equation, then you are good to go. Okay, for those of you who don't know how to solve a Diophantine equation, this is also very simple. Let me show you. So we have these two equations which we have found by division algorithm. Okay, by using simple division algorithm. Now how to solve this? Very simple. Now find a now write the solutions for this equation. Now x is equals to 5p plus 1, where p is equals to p belongs to some integer. Okay, now put the value of p as 1, then we will get the answer as 6. If you put 2, then we get 11. If we put 3, then we will get 16. If you put 3 if you put 4, then we get 21. Now do you see a pattern in here? We are just adding 5, right? We are just adding 5 to each solution. So we can say that the set of solution that we are going to get is in arithmetic progression with a common difference of 5. So why did I tell this? Because it will be helpful for you to find the solutions, because you have to multiply here and then and add. So just add 5, 5, 5, you will get the solution, set of solution. Okay, so for now I am just going to write the solutions up to here. It will have infinite solution, right? Okay, now for this equation, the set of solution that I'm going to get, if we put y equals to 1, then 11, and then 11. Now here we have to add 7. Okay, then the next solution is 18. You can see that if you put y equals to 2, then 14 plus 4 is 18. So if you have to find the set of solutions of such an equation, then just add the divisor or this term, then you will get this set of solution. Now I am writing only up to here. Why? Because I have got a common solution for both of the equations, that is 11. Perfect. Now if you find the first common solution, then you are done. for example, I have found here the first common solution, which is 11. Then I don't need to go further. Why? I'm showing you. So x was equals to 5p plus 1 and x was equals to 7y plus 4, and from both the equations we have got the first solution to be 11. Now it will not have only one solution, right? It will have infinite solutions, so we have to just find the general term of the solution. So the first is 11. Now how to find the next solution? Now if you continue, like I'm showing you, if you continue this, like you have found your first term, which is 11. If you continue the chain, then you will find that the next term or the next common solution to this will be 46. Both will be 46, right? And if you just go further, you will find that the next solution is 81. Perfect. 81 will be the next solution. Like you have to, you can go like this and you will find all the solutions. Now do you see another pattern? So the solutions that we get is 11, then 46, then 81, right? Do you see any pattern in here? Yes, I do, because if we add plus 35 and here also plus 35, we are getting the values, or we are getting the unique solutions of x. So see, 11 plus 35, we see it is 46, right? Okay, and 46 plus 35, we are getting it as 81, and it also satisfies both of the equation. So it is also forming an AP with common difference 35, right? Now what is 35? Can anybody comment down below what is 35? 35 is nothing but the multiple of the divisor 7 into 5. So this was your CRT. Very simple, that if you find the first solution or any one solution of the equations or the system of congruencies, any one, then you can find the whole general solution. The general solution will be the first solution or any one of the solution. For example, it is 11 right here, plus the multiple of the divisors, in this case it is 35, then add an variable t and say that t belongs to integer. Perfect. So this was your Chinese remainder theorem. Very simple. I hope that you were able to understand, because this is a very simple concept, Chinese remainder theorem. Okay, I hope that you were able to understand. If